Hello, and welcome to Comic Solving Problems, the Midnight Edition.
Yes. That's N Allen, and I'm Eric McElroy, and this is where we did this just about 3 hours ago, not just about, and it's where a chance to catch it for a second time. We do the news, we have some laughs, there's some giggles, we're dressed up more, we have the tie on.
Oh, you've still got your tie on.
Tightened up. Still got the tie on, but I've folded up my sleeves. So it's a different vibe. It's a midnight vibe. Yeah. It's midnight. It's a new day. Oh, yeah.
So get yourself settled down. Since we broadcast the show, I've already had my 2 litres of water. So at some point I might nip out instead of watching this and do a wee-wee. But, yeah, get yourself a drink, get sat down and enjoy some comedy entertainment.
Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Comics Solving Problems. I'm N Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, it's a half-hour comedy show where we find the problems in the news and we solve the problem in the news. And if we don't solve the problems in the news, you can't sue us because it's a comedy show. Ta-ting!
Boom.
Simple as that.
Lock
really.
solid. It's just a great tight concept.
Yeah, so it's the Thursday night episode. Now, we've been doing this we're in series 2, episode 10 or 11, episode 11. Ooh, over 40 episodes. Think of all the problems we've solved. During the show, if you would like to subscribe to whatever, you got your options there down the bottom. And also, we'll be popping up some details about where you could chuck some money in our pot to keep funding this, because this show is relatively expensive to put together, what with the new lighting and the new props.
Ooh, I was wondering if you were going to bring it up.
Yeah, look at that.
It's nice. Well, I mean, this is a radical shift. If you're just joining us for the first time, I mean, this is our 40th or 5th. I mean, there was 30 plus in season 1, so in 10 shows into season 2. Big change with Steve's background.
Yeah.
What have you got for us today, Steve?
Got rid of the Amazon books because no one was buying those of my book. They're still available on Amazon. So instead, what we've got here is the actual tripod that's used to hold the phone that films all of the sketches that I act in, and the microphone that does the sound on it. Over here, we have a cinema-style light. If I lean this way, you can see there's a camcorder that I used to record sketches like 10 years ago. That thing used to work.
Oh, yeah, I got that. I got one of those.
Everyone's got
right over there.
Also, there's the spy lanyard from a previous sketch and the Costa cup from a previous rant. It's just like memorabilia, really, from previous shows.
You're up in your game.
I was jealous because you got your Olympia beer thing that always gets more fan mail than I do.
Yeah, it is very popular. It's good. I mean, it's a terrible beer. I don't think they can sue me for that. It's awful. But my grandfather made the sign, so you can't complain. But I think I'm gonna have to up my game. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a new background next Tuesday.
Also, I should point out, I've got LED lights behind that cheap cabinet behind me. So there's some orangey lights either side of it.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Damn sexy.
This is high tech. That's what happens. Not only do we solve problems, but we're easy on the eye.
Yeah. It's what I'm spending some of that sweet £3.50 we've earned. So
that's right. If you like the changes that Steve has made to the background and you want to see more changes made to our background, and maybe some digital effect to our face, I don't know. That's where during different points during the show, you can buy us a drink through the various platforms that are there to do that, because that keeps us going. It makes us happy. But again, as Steve said, sharing the show as well. The Facebook, did you say that? You can share it on Facebook right now, so people can join you in that shared experience. And you can ding the bell on YouTube or whatever it is. Or we're not on Pornhub yet, kids.
No, we definitely get in there.
We're getting there.
Chris says, evening chaps, the messages are coming through already. If you can find yourself a message board, be it on whichever platform you're on or on the Twitter, our names are on the screen, get those messages coming through. As Eric says, we are not on Pornhub. Please do not send us any messages on Pornhub yet.
Recommendations, however. Anyway, right. We are here to solve problems and not that problem. And I think I'm kicking us off the first one. Steve, you ready for a problem that needs solved? Probably more than any other problem, I'm going to say, in the world.
Okay.
And that problem is basically one word, and that is America.
Good point.
It's my home country, Steve, and I've been living away for 20 years, and I look at it and I watch what's going on, and I just there's problems at all the different levels of society. We're going to start in a minute with the simple folk, right? Some people might have seen this. It went up viral in the last 24 hours, and these were people protesting, which is normally a good thing. I don't mind a little bit of a protest now and then, if songs for the right reasons. But these people were protesting in a Target. Which, do you know what a Target is?
No, tell us, inform us. Is it some sort of clothes shop, is it?
Well, it's like a Tesco superstore.
Okay.
So, but they've only just added food in the last few years. It started as more the part of Tesco that doesn't have food. It's a gigantic store. I mean, to be fair, it's very convenient. There's loads of them because it is easier to shop in America than it is here. So we still have that going over the Brits. But they're protesting essentially in a Tesco superstore. And here's the protest.
Take off your mask! Take it off! Yeah, we got someone! Take it off!
These first couple things you're going to notice from that, Steve. Notice, they're all white.
Yeah.
There's just something there about the fact that there's just a level of privilege going on. Look at how much we're suffering. Oh my God, I get sunburned and I can't do with a mask. And I'm just so sick of living in one of the richest countries on earth and having to spend my time in Target rather than go to the fancy mall. I mean, these are people who have never struggled, Steve. So we've got that base level of idiocy in America. That's a problem. But then it starts to go up. And we've got, and we're used to having an idiot president. But he's not the only idiot that wants to be president, which we can see here. Kanye, who's running for president, he's got campaign staff. He's struggled to get on the ballot, but he's warned his staff not to fornicate.
Good advice.
I mean, it's an interesting agenda that he's put forward. That's the first policy I've actually heard him talk about. And Steve, I haven't really talked about the Kanye candidacy. I haven't really talked about Kanye very much, partly because I'm not a fan, but I don't know. I mean, he's like this person that's a celebrity. I guess I suppose he's talented. It's not my music. I mean, if it's not Kenny G or John Denver, I struggle. Yeah. But I mean, I guess he can run for president. Sure. I mean, the bar for president has been pretty much lowered.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really said a lot about what he wants to do, what his agenda is, other than stopping his staff from having a good time. I mean, to be fair, maybe stopping fornication is a good thing because then it stops people being born who are protesting in a Target. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Yeah. Maybe there's a whole level of game work here that I don't understand. I do know that he did send out this message.
Wow.
Yep. In case you're wondering what's happening there, Steve, that is Kanye has, much like us, he's turned to streaming. It's popular. Everybody's doing it. He is, I guess he thinks that qualifies him to be president. He's pissing on Grammy.
What does Grandad think about that?
Oh, Steve. It's a Grammy, not the Grammy. I mean, I guess that is a qualification for being president. I mean, normally, the current president gets pissed on. Kanye's switching it up. He's just something different. And you're thinking, well, how do we know? Because we don't see anything other than the shoes and the stream and the Grammy and the toilet. Yeah. How do we know this is Kanye's wee-wee? Because he tweeted it.
Okay.
Trust me, I won't stop, which could mean that he's got a prostate problem.
You should try stopping it. Builds up the good muscles.
I mean, I don't know how old is he, like 35? I mean, he's got a good stream going. And I mean, I'm of an age, having that much force happening. I'm jealous. Not of the Grammy, just of the consistency of the stream.
I'm more upset that he's missing the funnel. Who would wee on a Grammy and not deliberately try and get it down the main funnel bit?
Yeah, you'd want to fill that up first. Because that's where you could get all the bubbles. Oh, that'd be nice.
It's all about the froth.
Okay, so we got different levels of stupidity. And then we have an Attorney General of the United States. And he was talking about the fact that he, who's the chief law enforcement officer, he actually doesn't like lockdowns. And he made this comparison.
Putting a national lockdown, stay-at-home orders, is like house arrest.
Is it? Is it like house arrest? No. I mean, it kind of is like house arrest when your kids are home from school.
Yeah.
But I'd say calling, staying home in the middle of a pandemic house arrest is a little bit hyperbolic. I mean, maybe just, I cut him off there. Maybe he's going to explain it in a less stupid way. Let's see what else he had to say.
It's other than slavery, which was a different kind of restraint, this is the greatest intrusion on civil liberties in American history.
Has he ever listened to any American history? I mean, we're not the British, but we try.
Oi.
We've done some stuff as well. I'm not going to rehash it all here. But, I mean, there's only one way I feel that I can respond to that statement. But I do want to end this section on the problem of America. It's not all problem. It isn't a problem with just the people or the media, celebrities, or the attorney general. There are some people that still give me hope in my home country. And it's the woman who filmed the anti-maskers at the Target. And she said something that I thought was beautiful.
Take your mask off!
Yeah, take it off! Fucking idiot.
There's hope, people. There is hope for America.
She nailed it. Good pull. Wow. No wonder you moved away. I totally understand now.
Yeah.
I thought, like, why to Britain? But now when you show me those pictures, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like being under house arrest. Struth. I mean, I've never been under house arrest, so I don't know. But the fact that you are allowed to go out and you just have to wear a mask, and lockdown's not that bad anymore. Struth.
It's a mask, not an ankle bracelet.
Yeah. Chris says many an hour spent trying trying to chase a fag down the urinals. That's back in the old days when there would be the little butt end, whatever it's called, the fag butt in the urinal trough, when there used to be troughs rather than individual ones. That was really when society broke down, because in the old days we all used to wee in a long trough together, and now we all get individual ones. And all of a sudden, no one's making friends.
Yeah, and less splatter on the shoes, though.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, when you showed me the picture of Kanye's shoes, that was because there's some holes in them as well where it could get through to the sock. Yeah. That is a brave man who is aware of his weeing capabilities, that he would tinkle on his Grammy wearing those shoes.
But I guess because it is Kanye, I mean, his urine is probably delicious.
Okay, I'm not really sure. I think, yeah.
I do. He's a special guy. I mean, he's a genius or whatever he says he is.
Yeah, one of those things, yeah.
It's one of those.
It's interesting how Kanye released that video, and R. Kelly, no word from him. So interesting.
Too soon.
Is it? If you're enjoying the show, get yourself subscribed and get this shared, because we've still got the rest of the half hour of talking about the news. The link's down the bottom. And if you'd like to put some money in our pot to help us be able to afford fancy shoes like that so we can practice our weeing, there are links near where you're seeing this stream where you should be able to donate.
Yes.
Lovely stuff. Keep the messages coming through as well. But I want to deal with a big problem now. The problem of the many lockdowns in the UK. They're all over the flipping shop. Now, how do we solve it? Look, easily you could say you wait for the vaccine. Quick word on that. What's the latest on the vaccine? China says that we could get a vaccine in time for Christmas. So that's great news. But I'll also point out China also promised me that I'd get a Furby in time for Christmas once, and that didn't fucking happen, did it? So I'm lowering our expectations. Looks like we are going to have to deal with some of this lockdown lark. And Matt Hancock's been giving us some info.
From tomorrow, in Northumberland, North Tyneside, South Tyneside, Newcastle upon Tyne, Gateshead, Sunderland and County Durham, residents should not socialise with other people outside their own households or support bubble. Okay, and it's actually good advice, because if you do socialise, you would be socialising with people from Northumberland, North Tyneside, South Tyneside, Newcastle, Gateshead, Sunderland and County Durham. And I'm from the Midlands, if I can make that judgment. That's nice. Okay. But it's actually more to do with the details of the type of lockdown they're in. And late night restrictions of operating hours will be introduced, so leisure and entertainment venues must close between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Can we have a word about why they keep bringing in curfews as part of it? Are you less likely to get the disease in the afternoon than you are? Is it a nighttime disease? Is it crepuscular? Does it come out as soon as it turns to dusk? I think what's happened is Matt Hancock has got confused between coronavirus and a vampire.
Because
Easy mistake.
Unless it's both, unless we've got vampire coronavirus. Oh no! I think he might think that's what's happening because he also gave this advice.
And anyone going out should wear garlic around their neck and take a cross.
Interesting advice. But actually, all right, back to what he was actually saying.
And I know that the people of the Northeast will come together to defeat this virus.
Why do they keep saying that in all the speeches? It's the worst piece of advice. We're meant to stay apart to defeat this virus. You can't come together to defeat this virus, and let's cross over now to an expert who has something to say on this.
Well, mingling is people coming together. That is my definition of mingling. It's people coming together.
Absolutely mingling is what it is. But yeah, it's good that Pretty's back in the news. If you watch Tuesday's show, we talked about how there's problems with her saying we should be dobbing in people. We should be snitching on neighbours who break this rule. And the reason it's confusing is that today we find out that Prime Minister Boris Johnson says that we shouldn't snitch. And, I mean, it's not that much of a surprise that someone who is a philanderer, liar, and breaker of international law doesn't like the idea that people might snitch. Although, actually, if we go back to it, the actual headline, look, it's not saying don't snitch. It's saying only snitch on neighbours if they are having a Animal House-style party. And I saw that and I thought, that is disgusting. That my neighbours would do... And I realised I wasn't thinking of Animal House. I was thinking of the infamous film from the 80s, the porn version of Animal Farm. If you don't know this is what happened when I was growing up. Everyone talked about, and apparently it was smuggled into the UK, there is a bestiality porn film starring that Danish person. Everyone was created equal, but he might have been more equal than others in some departments. Anyway.
I have learned something in the show, too. We're not just solving problems, Steve. And I'm just going to write that down.
I've never seen it. But I tell you, I did get confused once and saw a clip of it and had to write an essay for GCSE English about Animal Farm. Did not score well. Anyway. So I'm still torn about this. What should I do? I mean, would you snitch on a neighbour? There's that phrase, snitches get stitches, but then do not snitchers get a persistent cough, a temperature, and a loss of a sense of smell? You know, it's... I don't know what's the best way to do it. I did think if you get caught snitching on someone... I mean, these days people are aggressive, and you don't want your neighbours getting angry with you. Imagine you're in a park, and you see a big group of people, like 7 people. If you dob them in, they might come and be violent to you because they'll outnumber you. And if they don't outnumber you, maybe have a word with yourself first. But my theory is I will snitch. I will snitch now as long as it goes like this.
Well, officer. What brings you to a place like this?
Oh, come on, Joe. We both know you're the kind of man who likes to keep his nose to the ground. I thought maybe you might have seen something I might be interested in.
My memory ain't so good these days.
Well, maybe this might jog your memory.
Things are still a little bit foggy.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Woman at number 47 had an 18th birthday party for her kid.
I've watched way too many films. Right, keep the messages coming through. So Chris says compostula. No, it's crepuscular that I think I tried to say. Crepuscular. Is that the same as a vestibular bulb? No.
Ooh.
Well, it might be. It means coming out in the evening, and it depends if someone gets their vestibular bulbs out in the evening. So actually, yes, vestibular bulbs are crepuscular.
That's the right time to get out your vestibular bulbs.
Yeah.
It's not a daytime activity, is it?
It's not allowed on TV at that time, I'll give you that.
Not allowed. I have to say, in the double Steve action there, if I should call it that, of that last clip, I do like the fact, A, how do you still have cash?
I had to go hunting for that.
I mean, and B, the angle of you handing yourself the money and receiving the money. It's nicely done.
Thank you very much. That was, I was so happy about writing that in because we've mentioned before, like back in the day, how exciting everyone was where Michael J. Fox handed a plate to himself playing his own grandfather in Back to the Future 3. I can't do that kind of technology, but I can hand myself some money.
At the right angle, because you leaned down and then you leaned up.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I don't know what they give Emmys for.
Not that.
Not that.
And actually, the Emmy board, don't give me an Emmy. I'll only waz on it. That's the latest trend these days. I don't think I've won anything worth weeing on. No.
Have you won anything where you get weed on?
Didn't realise that was what we were playing for. Hey, the MASH report was BAFTA nominated. I don't know if you can wee on a nomination.
You can print it out. And then just you bastards gave us a mock of the week again.
So I expect that on Tuesday's show when I run out of things to film. Yep.
Don't film that.
Yeah, I got the tripod for it.
Got the tripod for it. Oh dear. Right. If you're enjoying, don't forget the subscription button is there while it's on. And if you're enjoying, you think, oh, these guys, I like what they do. I got a few extra quid because my furlough money's still coming in for a little while. And I'd buy them a drink if we could go to a pub after 10 o'clock in Newcastle. There you go. Although don't do it based on Newcastle pint prices. Do London pint prices.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Because, I mean, you could buy a house for £3 up there.
And also, just say, I know this show it's in our spare rooms, but it is quite an expensive show to put together because that last sketch required £100. So
you'll never see that again. Yeah.
There we go. That was a chunk of the show that we did earlier, and that was the Midnight Repeat. What is chunk not complimentary enough?
Chunk's not.
It was a chunk of show.
What did you watch last night? Oh, I watched a chunk of comedy.
Yeah.
It's not the right adjective.
It might have been right. It might not be a nice one, but it might have been right. But we do the actual live broadcast one, so if you want to be getting involved in that, subscribe. I think we should put this on the screen.
Subscribe.
We've got our own YouTubey thing. Have a crack at that. You get clips from previous shows as well, so you can get all of that for free.
That's right. You only can get the clips if you subscribe.
Okay.
That's not true.
No.
But, if the president lies, so can I.
Very true. No, you sit inside on. Yeah, I'm going to have some of that. I just realised you've gone very very casual. Well, we should do it the other way so it looks like we're facing each other.
All right.
Oh, hello, Eric. How are you doing?
I went the wrong way.
What are you doing over there?
It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Did you enjoy that show? Did you watch the Midnight Repeat?
Shall I just pass you this pen?
Yep.
Here it comes.
Oh. Guess we own different kind of pens.
That's the most fun I've had all day.
You've just watched a flipping show we were in as well. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Get yourself subscribed. Get some money in the pot as well. It'll be very nice. Next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. Next Thursday, 9 o'clock, we'll be doing another live one with special effects as good as the pen handing thing. Wow.
I'm going the wrong way. I'm poking you. I'm poking you. All right.